Howdy and hello. This is of the best builds in Far Far West. Ridiculous single target damage, crazy horde clear, and insane sustain. You're a one-man army that can also do the same thing in a group setting while changing one spell and still be pumping damage. And possibly dudes. I'll explain how the build works first, but we will be going into my actions as well during the gameplay. The mission is kill the bird while doing the escort payload objective, which, by the way, that side objective does not scale based on people, aside from enemy spawns being reduced. It's still the same, move the payload to the objective and do the whole 5 switches. The build has the bow with the triple shot, overcharge shot, and that shot lets you destroy spawners and gold nodes. I've got maxed out bin speed and maxed out damage. The damage part's cool because if you overcharge it, you almost kill the bigger dudes and they die to the fire dot, which is my element of choice for the bow in this setting, which allows you to destroy those spawners like mentioned. I've also got a chance for ammo to drop on minions, which is pretty cool. Side note, I'm collecting all fragments I see because eventually they'll be used for something, I believe cosmetics. So right now I'm getting 20 fragments per weapon roughly, and once that happens, I'll just keep stacking more and more. So don't slack on the fragments if you keep wanting to play the game. You'll miss out on some sick drip. Now, on the bow I also have relentless, or whatever gives you movement speed for killing an enemy. I've got that for now. But once I get my last prestige for it, or my next prestige rather, I'll have another chance to drop extra ammo, is my goal at least. For my shotgun, we are rocking max damage and max ammunition. The ammunition part's pretty important, as well as the damage, obviously. Overblast. Shoot an extra pellet for every round missing from the magazine. Tube. Whatever the case may be. Machine gun. Per mission, the weapon gains 0.3% fire rate for every 50 damage dealt. So deal damage, get fire rate. I don't believe it's capped, which is ridiculously awesome. Big fan. Reload mastery. You reload faster when you have no more bullets remaining in the weapon. Although in this case, I don't think it follows those rules because it's a rounds reload weapon. It gets to break the rules, I believe. I haven't quite looked into that, but maybe. I've also got swift shot. When you're aiming down sight, you get 10% faster fire rate, which ideally I want to swap that out once I get another prestige to have my final Joker slot to extra reload mastery to reload faster. That'd be the ideal. And on my actual character, life pact. Every kill heals 2 HP, but I'm missing 30% HP, which I'm fine with. Battlemage. Every kill reduces my cooldown for ongoing spells by 1%. And given my spells, they're pretty decent long cooldowns, that is insane value. Like, you'll see it right here. Just peep the cooldown absolutely dwindling. Big fan. And if you're playing on Nightmare difficulty, you need to have movement speed. It is non-negotiable, as far as I can tell. So I've got Disgrace, no Halsey, but I do get 30% movement speed no matter what. And Healthy Boy. If I'm full HP, I get 20% move speed, fire rate, and reload speed, which is pretty sick. From there, I believe I have, actually, this is called Relentless. While you're low HP, you do more damage. It's just something to have. I have an extra slot. If I had another Joker slot, I would do Speedy Gonzalez. And if I'm playing in a group, I go the Res Joker in that gray slot. That should cover all the stuff. In the gameplay, my mission is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody. I'm trying to trigger as many storms as I possibly can within reason. Once I have my cooldowns to get more kills are more experience. It's also more fun. And I'm doing the objectives. Now, I am a bit lost. I need to figure out the Tom-Tom situation and get better at doing things around the map faster. Because I kind of lollygagged for a little bit, which is cool because I was explaining the build, so who cares. I still need to lock it in a little bit. The bow, by the way, is disgusting. Like, genuinely, the bow is one of the most powerful weapons. Fun fact, you don't get experience for the AoE dot it does, which makes it very difficult to level up. I'm talking very difficult to level it up. Because I'm using the bow a lot, and I'll finish a mission with like 700 experience and be wondering what's going on. But I eventually put 2 and 2 together. Now, I don't know if I'm planning on using the shotgun more. I think I am actually planning on using the shotgun more than the bow, because I could just sit there and overcharge it and kill everything that's not a large feller very easily. And even the big dudes, you will kill them too because you're dealing that much damage. Man, when you're playing solo, these objectives give you one joker. They always give you jokers based on your group size. And the same thing also goes for killing the head full horsemen in the red areas, the danger zones. And if you're a loot goblin like me, you're missing a lot more jokers than you could have. Because you know, you go off into Narnia, you're doing the objectives, and if no one's near you, what's a little finder's fee tax of 100% gonna hurt? Nothing. Now, if you can't use the jokers, obviously pick them up, but there do be some loot goblinry happening. If you're doing the cryptic totem side objective, where you trigger the totem, it says kill X enemies in a certain time frame, it's better to trigger a storm and then you trigger the objective, because it's a faster time to complete it. In this case, I believe the same thing also applies in a sense of you trigger a storm, trigger the whatever that thing is called, and now you have more dudes to shoot and contribute to the kill count, because the kills you get are what determines the reward as far as I know. And we got purple. It's a life pact. See, I don't mind taking things that reduce my HP further, even though I'm already kind of low. It just can't be more of the same thing I already have. Like, life pact times 2, cool. Not really necessito. Especially on boss fights. On boss fights, you don't have as many minions spawning, which means you get a lot less chance to sustain yourself. Ooh, I never talked about the spells. That's crazy. Decoyo, Bubble and Rain. Decoyo doesn't necessarily combo with anything directly here, although if you make it go acid or fire, it'll explode once it's done. But it is a distraction tool that both helps me to live. Let's say a sniper's shooting at me, I can't get a shot on it. Decoyo, if it's close enough, it'll target that guy instead, which is big. It also gets enemies off my back. I can go loot a joker, and I can just combine it with bubble plus bow shot. The order's like this, actually. I use the bow. I'm pretty sure it requires the max charge shot, the big fireball one. Then I bubble that AoE on the ground that the bow leaves, and that triggers a fire tornado. If I decoyo first, they'll go into it. And I'm pretty sure if I decoyo afterwards, it breaks decoyo before it can even spawn. Fairly certain that's how it works. I can also do the same thing with acid rain. I can have enemies go towards the middle of my acid rain to get a bit more value. So although there's no necessarily crazy inherent combinations, there is still that potential. If I'm ever low HP, I'm gonna trigger rain, or I'm gonna toss out bubble. Whichever one's up, it doesn't quite matter, and that will help me get a lot of heals very quickly, especially if a storm started. And I can also choose my bow. On low HP, you see a horde of enemies, just charge the bow until you have at least the triple shot, which is pretty fast to get, and you're chilling. Brother, oh my god. This is the one I forgot what's going on, dude. No, dude. Alright, this is bad showing. Like I said, I need a map. I need Dora the Explorer and Boots to explain what's going on. Me in memory games, I can do okay sometimes, but I definitely gotta sit there and repeat what I'm doing in my head relentlessly. Now, there's a little feedback here. Am I crazy in saying it'd be better if you got less of the jokers on max difficulty that didn't do a whole lot? Or if there's a way to sort of like set that? Because you're playing a roguelike. In this case, it's not a roguelike or light, but it does have elements of that. It's cool whenever you're doing stuff and you see a thing on the ground or you see loot that can actually benefit you. But there's actually a few jokers that don't benefit you and they kind of just kill you. Okay, see, we're low HP. Acid rain. We're healing up something serious. Pull out the shotgun, pull out the shotgun, pull out the shotgun, pull out the shotgun. Ooh, genius actually. It's genius. We go fire tornado first. Did you see the sustain? What? I didn't even know it was that crazy. Like, I knew it was crazy. I didn't know it was that crazy. Okay. I don't know why I'm not using the shotgun at all. Listen. I'm just getting to the far west a little bit. I'm gonna learn eventually. I already have another rain to use. Brother. I'm telling you, in a group setting, if the enemies go for you, this is even more ridiculous. We're already halfway through our cooldown for acid rain. Hey. If I was Porky Pig, if I was using the shotgun more often, I'd have a faster fire rate. I'd have even more damage dealt to bosses. I could also change a Joker at the spawn, the saloon, and go glass cannon. Although I'm not sure what I'd swap that for. Because battlemage is really fun, and battlemage lets me int and live. Like battlemage plus life pact, it's just int city, son. Resident Douglas. So there's that. Okay, I wouldn't say this is on par with what I have to deal with in Helldivers 2. But it's definitely... Nah, this ain't bad. It almost reminds me of Siege Artillery. It's just 1,000 times faster still. And man, I'm telling you. I'm not saying it needs to be different, but when you're doing these, when you go from playing in a group to playing solo... Oh, it doesn't even give you jokers. Never mind. Side note, or I guess on the same note. It's pretty cool how in this game, they do reward playing in a group with how there's just a lot more enemies to shoot at. Like, it's a pretty good amount more enemies, all things considered. I think in a roughly the same time frame, I got 2,400 kills playing in a group, whereas I get roughly 1,600 playing solo. And that's having a teammate who got 1,700 as well. So that's not nothing. All right, trigger a storm. I trigger a storm, and then I go into a danger area to have as many kills as possible when I'm using my cooldowns. And I don't have to use my cooldowns to kill this ghost guy. I just do, since it's pretty cool. Feels fun. Ooh, it's the crane operator. There's a certain pattern you can do on the crane to make it a faster experience, I'm pretty sure. And I don't know if I'm doing the correct one here. I found a new route, a new path I enjoy. Okay, that's ambitious. Those are ambitious shots on the sniper. That is a certified bow angle. Yeah, see, the bow shot alone killed so many fellers, including the dudes with the shield. The Brigitte mains, if you will, of this game. Okay, I hope that Joker's actually something cool, and not the 35% weak spot damage, but 35% less damage if you don't hit that. Because that'll make my bow deal a lot less damage, by the way. I was taking that for a while, that Joker, and I didn't realize just how bad it is in the long run, because you're not... Some people are hitting a bunch of headshots all the time. I ain't those people. Not yet. And so if you're not doing that, it's rough. And there's certain weapons that don't go for headshots, really. Like bow is an AoE thing. So at a certain point, I was doing 2 damage with Sheriff Stars yesterday. Was not ideal. Ooh, Double reload mastery. Okay, at this point, I gotta lock in for sure. Let me load, sorry. I'm doing something important. Okay, the fast strat, I believe, is going left. Or you go up, left. No, right slower. It's gotta be. I haven't done the math, and I'm lost. I haven't done the math, but I'm almost guaranteeing that right is slower. I'd have a mind to bring Koyo, in a sense, to sort of block myself off so I can do these in peace. But that's for a different time. The Koyo plus ritual is pretty sick. It just makes your heal stack, and the heal aura stacks as well. Alright, new strategy. I think the play, by the way, I gotta start talking while doing these. Just talking afterwards. It's different. It's definitely different than Helldivers in a sense. I'd be cracking out here. I always get confused at the yellow glow underneath the chest right here. It's a bait and a half. When I first played this game, I kept trying to go over that area many, many times, and nothing would happen. And I was confused. I was like, am I broken? Am I broken? Or is this game trying to rob me of my Joker? Give me my loot. And I'm pretty sure so you can trigger the storms, by the way, from Narnia. The ones that have the little spotlight, you can walk in the spotlight itself, or you can just shoot the spotlight. That one's actually very far away, so I don't know the distance. Psych! I'm nuts. I'm trigger a storm and then do this. I don't know if that's really smart, because a storm gets triggered the moment you trigger this anyway. Like, when you're doing the main objective, or the side objective rather, a storm goes off. So what actually happened is I wasted a storm. The more you know. The more you know. Quite unfortunate. If they block my thingy, I acid rain. I don't know if you can throw a tornado on top of the cart. And if you could, you probably shouldn't, since that would be like tossing a napalm barrage on Race the Flag, the objective itself. Yeah, dude, let's not do that. Let's not do that, guys. Forget I said anything. If I'm out of ammo on the shotgun, I need to go ahead and drop. I can't. No utility. Every time you're at a side objective, you need to make sure to grab your utility, which I'm pretty sure I could have and just didn't, and stock up on ammunition. Like, that is like a #1 habit you need to develop. Brother, I deleted that feller instantaneously. I think I might do a few more solos here and there if they're fun, but realistically, it'd be cool if the group content did better. There's a lot more going on. There's more stakes involved. Everyone's dead. You're last man standing. Clutch up. Clutch up for the undead homies. Like, that's just way cooler. And the enemies are tankier, which isn't a huge deal because I'm already deleting things right now. So, I feel like it's not a problem in this sense. One of the few games that does it properly, if you ask me. Yeah, actually, I don't necessarily mind if games make enemies tankier in a group setting, depending on how they do it. Because in this one, the small enemies aren't that tanky, even in the group. Like, they don't just become, oh, they're surviving headshots, they're surviving body shots. They still get one shot by weapons if you're upgraded, and that's chill. And the larger enemies aren't that much tankier either, if you're dealing decent damage. But the bosses are tankier. And the head full horsemen as well. Now, if you had to choose between triggering a detector storm or the ground bones, I recommend the ground bones. If you can go near a corner and trigger a tornado, I'd do that. If you can essentially make the enemy's path into a certain little crevasse of sorts, you want to trigger the fire tornado in that area. The same thing kind of applies if you're next to the cow bin, or the cow yard. They want a path between those little stalls. That gives you actually a perfect window to fire tornado, and they walk directly into it and they can't avoid it. It's crazy we're doing 41 damage a pellet, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'm still lost in the sauce. But I do believe we transferred the whatchamacallit as far as we need to so far. I was doing a storm just for funsies. Because if you trigger a storm and do the boss, I don't know if it maintains the enemies. Like, bosses seem to have almost a hard lock on how much nonsense can be going down. Actually, psych, I take it back. Because doing a boss, if you trigger the storm, it summons a lot more snipers. That was almost an int and a half, just by the way. You gotta be careful. Those shield bashers, they don't play around. And this is why I like having the pact. I'm not sure I'd rock if I wasn't rocking a life pact for sustain, because obviously nothing comes close. I can go drain, but then I'm sacrificing a spell, and I'm also sacrificing having to interrupt my actions to do it in the first place, which is a trade-off, you know, because I can have more damage, 40% more damage. Okay, if I was talented at the game, you're supposed to track it when it goes down and up, and you can do that. I can do it sometimes. I didn't do that at all. I actually gave up. 299 a single shot? 352? Brother. Okay, in this case, if I had glass cannon, it'd be dead. It'd be dead. Archer. Bro, those snakes. Those snakes have been getting on my nerves a little bit. Primarily because I'm using a spell called Snap. It's electric. You trade places with the enemy. If a snake is in the place of the enemies you trade place with, it interrupts the ability, so it can't even trigger the lightning on the ground. And you're in a group of enemies with a snake in your hands, trying to get slapped because it has a fetish. Those snakes are freaks. I'm gonna say. I think in the next video I'll be trying to use a portal tech of sorts. I'm legit Porky Pig, I cannot lie. And the idea is to sort of move better with the portals, and I might use the glitch where you can duplicate Bandito and the turrets, but honestly, it's not as crazy as it seems. It's very cool. It just so happens that rain gets 1,000 times more value. Probably do it anyway because it's cool. So what do you guys want to see? Would you want to see sniper gameplay, leverage, minigun, or quad cylinder's not leveled up yet, so not quad cylinder quite yet. But you guys decide if you're interested. Because I'm pretty much keen for whatever. And like I said, I do believe I want to do group stuff. It just depends. And earlier, I didn't go and gather the fragment. That's fine. The fragment on the map is always indicated by this, like... it's like this shape. That make any sense? Like that? It's a pretty... It's a standard shape. I'll have a screenshot on the screen, maybe. That's always there. So even if you don't see the blue indentation, there is the map layout that's always the exact same. That'll help you know what's going down. But if you're a homie, you could just ping it for your teammates if they're lost. And that goes for many things. Pinging is critical. Like you ping portals, you ping heals. Need that. 9 out of 10, baby. 9 out of 10. On those, by the way, I don't think it's really worth it to sit there and farm them all out at once. Because when you're playing the game, you'll see them, like, right there. So, like, I guess if you feel the need to, you can. It's just one of those things that you'll get them naturally for the most part. And if you ever don't have them all, you'll be maybe -1 or 2 and then look up a video. Yeah. But then again, it'd be hard to know which one you're missing. Never mind. You do you, alright? Alright, Cryptic Vulture. Smoked. Could have been a faster time to kill the boss. Oh well. I did... My shotgun... Oh, my shotgun wasn't even prestiged yet. Ow. 1570 kills. Or 1,570. Not too shabby. Not too shabby, fellers. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Have a good day. Peace.